If you don't follow the sport of boxing the way I do, you might say to yourself, what the hell Errol Spence is talking about when he said Terence Crawford should have said something back then. Why he choose to say something now when he don't need the WBC belt? And many people might say, wow, Errol Spence is 18 and Terence Crawford are what? No, guys. Before I let you know where Errol Spence is coming from, why he said what he just said, there is no tension between these two brothers. There is no animosity between these two brothers. Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, the both of them respect each other. In spite of that beating that Errol Spence took from Terence Bud Crawford, these two brothers, they respect each other, guys. So let's just get that out of the way. So I'm gonna play what Errol Spence said back then, why he said what he just said in this interview. Check out this interview with Errol Spence at the press conference between him and Terence Bud Crawford. Let's check it out.
I mean, we gotta know where this money going to. I mean, a lot of times they getting, man, you got Canelo and Josh and all these guys, you know, making $50 million, and these belts getting 3% of that. Where's it going to? How's it helping the fighters out? What are they doing with it?
That is why Errol Spence is saying that Terence Crawford should have said something back then at that press conference when he called out those sanctioning body, questioning where those money is going. And Terence Bud Crawford was right there, smiling, touching on the WBC belt, guys. Yes? So that's why Errol Spence is calling out Terence Crawford now. Why you choose to say something now? Because you don't need the WBC belt? No. I have to say, I agree with Errol Spence Jr. some way. Because, guys, if you look at the Terence Bud Crawford and that corrupted WBC president situation, you could easily well say Terence Crawford is just clapping back at the WBC president because, you know, they call out Terence Crawford for not paying the sanctioning fee. But, guys, don't get me wrong. By Terence Bud Crawford putting that corrupted WBC president on blast, that was a very good thing. But guys, if you look back what Errol Spence said back then at that press conference between him and Terence Bud Crawford, when he, you know, called out all the sanctioning body, you could say, well, that was a genuinely concern coming from Errol Spence when it come on to those sanctioning fee, those money, where those money is going. But if you look at the situation with that Terence Bud Crawford, no, he bigging up the rest of sanctioning body and, you know, putting the WBC president on blast. Nothing wrong with that, guys. I am so happy that he said what he said about the WBC president because he's a corrupted individual. Nothing wrong with that. But what Errol Spence said, he was calling out all the sanctioning body. Very concerned about where those money is going. So I have to say, I agree with the both of them, but you would say what Errol Spence said back then, it have more weight than what Terence Bud Crawford said. Because you could easily well say Terence Crawford is just clapping back at the WBC president. But guys, let me say this before I go. These two brothers, they respect each other, so it's no tension. I know these dudes on YouTube, they love to gossip and pin, you know, brothers against brothers.